Hello, everybody. I'm Christian.
And I'm Ozzy.
And welcome back to That's the Flavor, episode number 27, your weekly podcast where we sit down with each other, talk about our life shenanigans, life's goofiest questions, life's most important questions, and more. Thank you guys for all the support on last week's episode number 26, Chick-fil-A versus Gators. Honestly, that was a really fun one to record, and it felt like good old nitty-gritty in the trenches. That's the flavor, fighting for what we truly believe in, which is, go Chick-fil-A. Which is who would truly win in a fight, of course, 50 Gators or 50 Chick-fil-A workers in their Chick-fil-A.
I'm not gonna lie, I've been doing a lot of thinking in this past week.
Okay.
The initial question was, how many Gators would it take to rob a fast food chain? And we turned it into
a full-scale invasion.
Chick-fil-A versus... But it's still robbery.
But I think we spiraled it a little out of control. Yeah.
I do agree.
It's fine. We'll touch on it at a later date.
Yeah.
But if you haven't listened to that episode, I still think it's a banger. So go ahead and go check it out on all your favorite podcast services after you listen to this one. Because luckily, you can listen to That's the Flavor out of order. We're not really a chronological podcast.
Or if you're like me and it doesn't matter, even if it's not chronological, you can still go back and listen to that. It might make sense. You could probably be joining in and be like, what are you talking about? Alligators and Chick-fil-A? I sound intrigued. But, that gives you all the more reason to go back to episode 26.
Exactly. So thank you guys for the support on that. All the stuff on YouTube as well. Thank you guys for the support there. The YouTube shorts have been doing great. So have the TikToks and everything. Just thank you guys for the support on all the platforms. If you're not following us somewhere, go search up That's the Flavor. You'll see the little recycling bin guy. And we're pretty much everywhere. We're even on Instagram's new Twitter app Threads as well. I set that up the other day. So we're over there as well. We are everywhere. Wherever you want to go ahead and hear about flavor, we're there. But yeah, episode number 27. Ozzy, how you doing today? How you feeling?
Oh, same as last week. Living the dream.
You know what? I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. This is a pre-recorded episode. I'm just going to, just in case the vibes seem a little off, going to let you guys know now, audience. We're a little busy later this month, so I'm just going to mention the fact that it's pre-recorded. That way we're not trying to fake the fact that it's been a week since we talked, even though it's been a day.
I think it's been fine. I haven't acted any different. I feel like this is normal for me. You just outed us.
Well, I figured it was probably good to be honest.
I love you, audience, but I guess maybe this can be the poll of the week. Do you really care to know that this was pre-recorded, or do you want us to just act like it's been recorded in a week?
You know what? Actually, isn't every podcast pre-recorded? Unless you're doing them live, like on YouTube or Twitch.
Yeah, I guess that is true.
Yeah. Yes. So we can just say we're recording this in advance, a little bit.
Yeah.
It's Yep. But we're trying to make sure we can still get flavor to you guys and not have a random week gap of, well, they brought the podcast back and now it's flipping gone, man. What the heck? That's what I'm trying to avoid. That's what we're trying to avoid here over at That's the Flavor LLC. Well, we're not actually an LLC, but Yet. You never know.
I was thinking, on top of the McDonald's collaboration, I really do think we need to get Guy Fieri in here. He's all about flavor.
He's on the list. He's on the list of people I want to see on That's the Flavor.
Yeah. No.
Yes.
How long is this list? I'm curious.
It's more just give me any celebrity. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
but Guy Fieri, I feel like makes sense. There's some guests that just make sense.
For me, one of my personal, I'd love to have Matthew Mercer on. Give me some Critical Role, D&D. Just to pick his brain. You know what I mean? To pick the brain of arguably one of the at least most well known, if not
I was gonna say either him or Brendan Lee Mulligan.
Right, either one of them, because they're kind of the fathers of online D&D, D&D media in a sense. That is true. But just to pick their brain about D&D and creativity, spontaneous, you know what I mean, the planning and mixing that with improving and just classic D&D questions, but to hear their level of it, I feel like that'd be pretty cool.
It's pretty deep.
Yeah.
I want to get the guy who puppets Milky White on Broadway because he is a Muhlenberg alumni.
I'm just saying.
So go Mules. And then on the other hand, I want Chris Evans for purely selfish reasons.
Oh, well, sure, of course.
Chris Evans, if by any chance you hear this, my name is Oslin Smith, and I am in love with you. I don't care that you have a girlfriend. I will gladly just be what you need me to be. I will be your dog's best friend. I will be your best friend in the non-weirdest way possible. This is just my statement and admiration of you. Thank you.
Proud of you.
You know, there's going to be years from now, and if he does by any chance actually see this, it's going to to be so awkward.
Oh, don't worry. One of the clips for this week will probably be that, and I'll make sure that we at Chris Evans on social media platforms.
Oh, great!
Don't worry.
Ah, great.
Hell, the episode might be Ozzy loves Chris Evans.
I mean, that is true. I mean, that's not necessarily that's not even a...
No, it's not infactual at all.
Yeah.
You know, if I had to have one purely selfish, like, personal guest on the show, give me the Muppets.
All of them.
Or, you know, yeah, that's fair, because there's a lot of them. Give me, like, at least, like, the core cast, or at the very least, give me Kermit.
I was gonna say, if you're going core cast, that's still, like, 7.
Yeah, but, like, you gotta imagine...
10.
Well, it depends. Who do you consider core Muppets?
Core Muppets, I mean, you obviously have the big 6, I think, is the main 6 that I'm trying to think, like, that you think. Like, you have Kermit, you have Miss Piggy, you have Gonzo.
Right.
You have... Animal, and this is not including the Electric Mayhem. It's just because Animal...
Yeah,
because Animal just has, like, a name.
Right, so we're at 5.
A vibe association to him. And...
You got 5 more slots.
And Fozzie.
Okay, no, Fozzie was 5, because you said, what? Piggy, Kermit, Gonzo, Animal, Fozzie.
That's 5 or 6?
That's 5 right there.
Yeah, that's 5.
That's 5.
Okay, Fozzie. Yeah, I knew I was missing 1.
Yes.
And then, see,
you got 5 slots. You got 5 slots.
Oh, see, I know this one's gonna be controversial, but this is my views. But I think it's just because I played like a Muppet. Okay, so there was this game on GameCube called a Muppet Disney Cruise, or not even Disney Cruise. It was just Muppet Cruise, but it was basically just a Mario Party port, but it was with the Muppets. And the core characters were Kermit, Miss Piggy, Gonzo, Fozzie, why am I blanking? Animal, and Pepe.
Okay.
So for some reason, those are the core 4 in my head. But then if we're going 10, then I mean, like, I feel like you obviously have to incorporate the old guys. Mm-hmm. I always feel bad because I don't remember their names.
Stalder and Waldorf.
Yeah, Stalder and Waldorf.
I think, right?
I think, yeah, that sounds right.
I hate that I just question myself as a Muppet guy. Audience,
right.
I am a huge Muppet fan, just to be clear.
But then you also have to...
Statler and Waldorf. That's
I like the Muppets, too. I'm not definitely as diehard as you, but, you know...
Right, no, but I'm just making sure they know, like, oh, Christian, how do you not know their names? Trust me, like, I'm a Muppet fan. I'm ashamed of myself. I got all 12 of the Lego Muppet figures up on my shelf right here, along with the rest of my Muppet figures. I've got Muppet hats in the back of my closet somewhere in that corner. They just no longer fit me, so...
It's a Christian Smallhead.
My favorite ride at Hollywood Studios is Muppet Vision 3D. Or I guess you could say really show, because it's not a ride, but...
That's hilarious compared to what is at Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, but Muppet Vision 3D.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a
fan of
Vision 3D.
Oh, yeah. No, I know. But... You know, I'll give you core 10. Core 10 makes sense because the more I think about it, here's what I think. Core 10. We stick with your 5 you said, which is Kermit, Miss Piggy, Gonzo, Fozzie, and Animal. Right.
Yeah, I think that is the staple Muppets. Like, I feel like if anybody says the Muppets, like, that is who their mind goes to.
Right. And then you go, for me, it's Dr. Honeydew and Beaker.
I was gonna say, do they count as 2 or 1?
They count as 2. They are 2 separate characters.
I agree.
I think for me personally, I put them both in there because like I like Muppet Labs. Like that's like one of my favorite bits on like the Muppet Show Muppet Labs. But I think if you just include one, some people might just include Beaker because again, if we're going off like notability, like visibility purposes, it's the same thing of not including the rest of the Electric Mayhem, and you only include Animal because I think Beaker is more popular. But selfishly, I will include Dr. Honeydew.
Well, but I feel like you have to have Dr. Honeydew, like, a little even more than like, I don't know why, but I feel like Dr. Honeydew and Beaker are more synonymous with one another. And, like, yes, I do agree. I think Beaker is a lot more popular.
Yes.
But, like, that one specifically, I feel like you take away Dr. Honeydew, you don't have Beaker.
That's fair.
Feel like you can take the Electric Mayhem away, and you still have Animal.
I think for the sake of the argument, we got to count them as two separate Muppets, just because they are a singular Muppet. But I don't disagree. I think, I do think from a branding standpoint, they are. Hearing you say they're a little bit more synonymous with each other, kind of scenario. Yeah. But you got Dr.
Those two were next under mine.
Yes, you got Dr. Honeydew and Beaker. You got Swedish Chef.
Oh yeah,
easy. Like again, honestly, if we're talking notability, like I might even, depending on who you ask, you could probably kick out like Gonzo instead of like Swedish Chef. Like if you like, he could fit one of those core five because he's again Swedish Chef. Like the notability of it all.
If you're going pure notability, then yeah, I think you honestly kick out Gonzo for sure.
Yeah, which sucks because Gonzo's great.
Like
Gonzo
is a core. Like I feel like
if you
have to kick him out of the core 5, it's fine.
Yes,
but he definitely has to be a core 10. But then how do you feel about his wife, the chicken?
See, I think the chicken. If we're talking about like coming with somebody and them counting as one, I think the chicken comes with him.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Like, because it's a chicken, you know.
Yeah.
After Swedish Chefs, we got 3 more. No, we got
2 more.
2 more slots to fill. And this is where I feel like there's honestly more flexibility, because I'm gonna just shout off a few. You could go Sam the Eagle.
Yeah.
You could go Rolf the Dog.
Yeah.
You could go Scooter.
Yeah.
You could go.
No, because I was just gonna say, I feel like Scooter is one that is often missed. But if you look at Muppet Babies, Scooter was on there.
Oh, Scooter!
And I'm talking
Scooter,
like,
yes.
I'm talking OG Muppet Babies.
Scooter is underappreciated as a Muppet.
Agreed. Well,
you could also. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think it's because like Scooter's kind of like the guy behind the chair in a lot of ways for the Muppets. Like he's the stage manager, so I feel like that's kind of why he gets lost a little bit.
If Kermit was Spider-Man, Scooter would be his Ned.
Oh, 100%.
Easy.
100%.
You could also go Statler and Waldorf for the final 2 slots, or you can go Rizzo. You could go Pepe.
Oh yeah.
The issue of Rizzo and Pepe, and I feel like especially Pepe more like. I feel like Pepe's on like the newer Muppet list, you know what I mean? Because he wasn't originally there for a lot of it, and so he's one that I feel like gets a lot of hate, more than he should, to be honest. It's kind of like, he's not like a real Muppet, you know what I mean? Like it's weird, but I feel like there is that hate there. But so like honestly looking at it, there's a lot you could do with the last 2 slots.
Oh, for sure. Well, because I mean, if you're going also like OG, like I feel like that affects things, because I mean there's people nowadays that I feel like would classify Walter from the new 2012 I forget what year it was, but the newer Muppets and introducing him.
Oh yeah, dude, Walter, great character, great.
I mean, he's a great character, but I mean, he's not instantly my thought. No, Muppets. Like I think most people, when you say Muppets, they're going to go to Kermit, Fozzie, or Piggy. Like, I feel like those are the main 3.
Well, right, and also in Walter's defense, defending the Muppet, I guess, like, they also haven't used him in anything outside of, like, those 2 movies, like the Muppets reboot with Jason Segel, and then, like, Muppets Most Wanted.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, he hasn't appeared in, like, the Haunted Mansion special. He didn't appear in the Muppets Mayhem show. Like, so, like, he was used for those 2 movies, and, like, that's it. So, like, in his defense, he just hasn't been used that much. Like, yeah. But yeah, so honestly, looking at give me all the Muppets. I stand by what I said. I want all the Muppets on That's the Flavor. And if I had to choose just one, like I would choose Beaker, but Beaker I don't think would make a good podcast guest.
No, I think he'd make a great podcast guest.
I think he'd make a great video podcast guest. I don't know if audio wise. I don't know. I love Beaker. I love you. But
I love Beaker too, but I think that's part of the fun, is then we can just, like, half the podcast would be us just throwing things out to see if that's what he means.
That's true. That's easy content right there.
I mean, like, I think that would be pretty entertaining. Yes. To like because it basically it's just basically the improv game of, like, it's like you hit the button and it's like, no, No,
Right.
like you have to find a new line. Like that would just be us, but it would be a constant 45 to an hour of us just trying to figure out and have a conversation with Beaker.
And then you got to think. So, like, if to go to the pick your brain scenario, like I would pick Kermit. What is it like to be like, again, the leader, the start, the own, like of this, of everything that you go. And honestly, you go, then it becomes okay, well, don't you mean Jim Henson, or do you mean Kermit? Like,
see, yeah, I know, because honestly, in a lot of my minds, and I feel like a lot of people mind, but I'm not speaking for everybody.
Right.
Is they see them one and the same, because I mean,
right. Well, the issue is like some of the Muppet movies portray it as like, Kermit's like the leader of the Muppets, like so forth. Like the Muppet Show was made because like they just got along when Kermit was going to Hollywood. I mean, like that's the whole premise of the original Muppet movie, right? And so it's like it then comes this issue of like you look in the real world, like the Muppets world considers like Kermit the creator, like the starter.
Yeah, for sure.
But then like our outside world, it's Jim Henson. But in the Muppet movies, their world is the real world, so it's weird. You know what I mean? It gets a little loophole-y.
Oh, because also I'm not gonna lie too.
Or paradoxy, I guess.
Is this canonical that the Sesame Street universe and the Muppet universe are the same?
Yes.
See, that was something that was new to me. Like, I mean, it's been a while now. I say like new to me. Like I learned this like 10 years ago.
Right.
But still, so like that is synonymous. But is that because Jim Henson created all of them?
I believe so. Yeah. Well, even then, there's crossover. Like Big Bird, for example, is in one of the Muppet movies. I couldn't tell you which one off the top of my head, but like he's in the movie. He has like a cameo appearance. Kermit was a character on Sesame Street before the Muppets themselves were a thing, because Sesame Street is older than the Muppets.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Well, but that's interesting.
Like,
because I guess Sesame Street's still its own brand because it's not owned by Disney, right?
No, it's not. So originally they were all the same thing. Like they were all under the Jim Henson Workshop, I believe, like, or the Jim Henson like production company, and they kind of got like split off from each other. And HBO actually owns Sesame Street at the current moment. And Disney has the Muppets, and like yes, they have like the Jim Henson Workshop then. From what I understand.
Because do they have the full one? Because what about the Dark Crystal?
Hang on. I'm googling this. Because you know what? It might be a scenario. Here we go. Oh, gotcha. So, Disney does not own the Jim Henson Company. Disney owns the Muppets. That's it.
Just the trademark.
Just owns the Muppets, like the core Muppets. Any non-Sesame Street Muppets, Disney owns.
Gotcha.
HBO owns Sesame Street and any of the Sesame Street related Muppets, like BAM. And then everything else is still owned by the Jim Henson Company. Because, because you gotta, in the thinking about that out loud now, that makes sense, because, like, there's the new Fraggle Rock show that's on Apple TV Plus, and, like, that wouldn't make sense if the Jim Henson Company itself was owned by Disney, but, like, Jim Henson Company is working with Apple TV to make that show, so, like, that exists. And also they still do their own animatronic and like puppet works, like the new Five Nights at Freddy movie that comes out in October.
Yeah,
the Jim Henson Company's actually worked on the animatronics, like, and they're not actual animatronics; they're full-fledged puppets.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, in the So like the Freddy, Chica, like Bonnie, and Foxy animatronics in that movie aren't animatronics; they're actual like puppets, like designed from the ground up.
Huh. So
I read that the other day, yeah.
They're puppets designed to look like animatronics, or is they're puppets for the most part, and then a lot of it, the CGI is going to be in there to make it more animatronic-y?
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure. Like, I'm not sure about all the minute details of it. But yeah. Which is really cool, right? Because, like, the people that made... obviously not the exact same people, but the company that made Big Bird is now made the version of Freddy from Five Nights at Freddy's. Like that's kind of cool to think about in that grand scope of things.
That's the duality right there.
Right, the duality. Horror game, horror movie, kids show.
It's fine. It's really funny that, because this is where my instant thought goes, and I mean, I think this is going to lead us into a very interesting topic, which...
Please, that's what That's the Flavor's all about.
I mean, to say the least, I don't know if it's That's the Flavor, but I feel like you'll understand, audience.
Okay.
Just to make a baseline real fast, Christian has expressed his thoughts and opinions about Five Nights at Freddy's on TikTok. And
this is true. We're doing this.
This is also just about his personal thing. So this is in no way associated with That's the Flavor specifically. Mm-hmm. But all I'm saying is I find it very interesting because now you are torn with having a company that you love and has such great feelings and memories and happy thoughts with, and now they have on the opposite end are supporting something that you don't necessarily despise. It's the culture behind it.
So let me to kind of fully explain what Ozzy's talking about. A couple months ago I made a TikTok and I was talking about how, because obviously I work in retail, I'm around toys a lot, so forth. I was talking about how much we market these mascot horror games to kids, how heavily marketed they are. Five Nights at Freddy's, Poppy's Playtime, and those are the two big ones at the time, because we sell Five Nights at Freddy's toys at the store right next to Minecraft toys, right next to Fortnite toys. They're literally in the same aisle sections, right? Mm-hmm. And then, mind you, this is and it's more just a curiosity thing than it is anything else. And also right under that is Poppy's Playtime, so forth. And it's I was why are we so okay with letting these be marketed to kids? And you talk about the books and stuff as well. Five Nights at Freddy's has a bunch of books, and basically the TikTok blew up, and there was a lot of comments and debate going on of hey, why do we do this thing? Why do we market this to kids so heavily, and why are we all okay with it? And there were comments of oh yeah, my parents don't pay attention to what my younger brother watches on YouTube, and he's watching Let's Plays and stuff of Five Nights at Freddy's, and all this other stuff, which isn't cool, isn't great. You had some people that were oh, the Five Nights at Freddy's books are comparable to Goosebumps, so it's totally fine, it's definitely okay. And a lot of just back and forth and a lot of mixed stuff. But it was a really interesting discussion, a really interesting topic. It's something that I still kind of think about often. But to answer your side of it, because the movie they're working on is a horror movie, and it's also rated properly for the movie that it is, I don't have an issue with it. I don't have an issue with the company. I more have an issue with because again, we know that it's gonna probably be a pretty graphic movie. I mean, it's made by Blumhouse and so forth, and we know that their track of horror movies. What the issue then becomes is the 12-year-old or 11-year-old kid who wants to go see it, and their parent doesn't think anything of it. Is more that scenario. And then next thing you know, it's oh hey, I accidentally took you to see Friday the 13th. Not that exact example, but you know what I mean. It's that scenario. I mean,
not to knock Friday the 13th, but I honestly think the topics that Five Nights at Freddy's is going to depict, and if they're doing it anyway, how Scott intended the original games to be, it's going to be dealing with some pretty heavy stuff.
Yeah.
Has the rating come out as it being...
I'm looking right now.
Because I was going to say, if it's honestly not rated R, I'm surprised.
I don't think it's been rated yet. Everything that I've heard is it kind of keeps skirting back and forth between PG-13 and rated R.
I mean, I feel like if they're going to go all out, it needs to be rated R. But then this is what's going to worry me kind of going off of it. Because I feel like if they do rate it PG-13, I still think it's going to be pushing the limits of PG-13.
Well, yeah, because the topic material is super dense. Again, not to fully get into it, but it deals with some really heavy topics. And someone made the point as well on that TikTok post that you mentioned of being oh hey, well if they just watch the gameplay or a Let's Play, it's totally fine. I'm yeah, sure, but all it takes is the YouTube algorithm recommending them one MatPat game theory video, and then they go down that rabbit hole. It's the game doesn't really explain the lore. I'm okay, but there are so many channels out there on YouTube that do. right?
And, I mean, and they're talking
and
about
that's the larger
too.
issue. Like, right. It's somewhere like, oh, the books are like Goosebumps, and it's like some of the stories in there are, and others are not. Like, but again, not to get into, because also honestly, it's kind of not super advertiser YouTube friendly. Like, it's some heavy topics. So, and again, this also isn't to target or slight or insult any parents or older siblings or caregivers of children out there. It's more just observations. And honestly, audience, love to hear you guys' thoughts on it as well. You can also, tweet at us, leave a comment or a reply on this podcast, so forth. Like, let's talk about it.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that's a really interesting point that I didn't even think about.
Yeah, and I mean, also, if you're interested in us talking about these more serious things, like, let us know. I mean, I personally don't mind. Christian and I have a lot of...
Yeah, I don't mind either. I just don't want to, like, in case somebody... Like, they do care, you know what I mean? Trying to...
For sure. That's why we're leaving it to you, audience. We don't care either way. Christian and I will either talk about it at Red Robin, or we'll talk about it right here in front of y'all. So
it's true. Either talk about it on our Monday lunch, or or not.
Pretty much. So,
but yeah, because I'll deep dive it. We'll do a Five Nights at Freddy's episode, because I just didn't also enjoy. Sure. I enjoy that franchise as well. Like, but
I agree. I mean, I feel like a properly aged adult force at it. I feel like that's it too. But I
mean, you want to talk about being properly aged? It came out when we were in high school. To remind you, like all Five Nights at Freddy's started, we were like, when we were in like high school. So
that's true. I mean, also kind of going back and I think kind of ending this topic, to say the least. I feel like kind of going back to we are not slacking any parenting, and we're not slacking any older siblings and stuff like that. I feel like that's also just a whole other conversation about the iPad generation, is what people have deemed it. And I mean, I think a lot of people can kind of agree with it, but like I said, that's another topic. We talk about it another day.
That's another more serious topic that, again, we'll get into if you guys want to hear that stuff on the podcast. But
for sure. Yeah.
I'm gonna do a complete pivot here, just wild 180. That's the flavor style pivot.
I mean, that's natural.
What is your favorite? What is your favorite flavor of ice pop? Now, for the parameters of this, I'm talking the like blue box of ice pops, like they're the blue cardboard box, like the stick, like that specific brand, because obviously the other ones taste different and so forth. So I'm talking like that brand of ice pop.
Yeah, Easy Blue.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Easy.
Okay.
That's the one I grew up with. I mean, a lot of it I think was definitely because blue was my favorite color, and it's my favorite color to this day. But no, I mean, I was a sucker for blue raspberry. I mean,
fair enough.
I never turned one down. If I had to pick a lowest one, which is gonna be a hot take, but this is just my life in terms of flavors, is the pink. The pink is honestly my lowest rated one. But I know a lot of people who would probably say, like, oh, pink's my highest.
Right.
So,
you want to know what's funny?
Is pink your highest?
Pink is my highest and blue is my lowest. See, I'm not even kidding you. It's the complete reverse.
Shit, I know this. But I have a tendency with flavors to like the ones that people don't like. Because my second favorite's green.
Oh, dude, I love the green one. Green,
really?
Yeah. It's not my second, but honestly, I think, because what? There's red, orange, pink, green, blue, purple.
Yeah.
Those are the 6. Yeah. If I had to rank them, you go pink, red, green, orange, purple, blue for me.
Interesting. Because for me, it's blue, green, orange, purple, red, pink.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like we're on very opposite.
I'm surprised. Yeah.
Well, because I guess also it's interesting too. I guess favorite color doesn't necessarily always go into it too.
No.
Because I know that yours is orange, so I was surprised to not hear you say that orange is. But there's a lot of people who do not like orange flavoring.
No.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah. What is... Let's talk about that.
I love orange flavoring. I'm sorry. All you orange Starburst haters out there, like, I don't care. Give me them. I think they're delicious. You can have the pink. I want the orange.
Give me, yeah. Why is Starburst out here making an all pink roll of Starburst? Where's the all orange? All right,
all orange. I mean, even all red. Like, yeah. I'm not gonna lie, and the yellow's good too.
Exactly.
I'm not denying the pink is good. Yes.
Right.
But show love to the other flavors.
Correct. I don't disagree whatsoever.
And I mean, this also brings up a very important question: what came first, orange the flavor, orange the fruit, or orange the color?
Definitely orange.
Because also, was the orange fruit named an orange because of the color orange?
Again, I feel like this depends on where you're talking about, where it originated from, because I want to say the color came first, then the fruit, then the flavoring.
But was fruit... Oh, but I would... See, I guess that's hard, and I asked that question, I phrased it wrong, because I feel like fruit would have been more likely to have been named and discovered before said colors. If that makes sense.
Yeah, but also sunsets probably existed before. Like, my thing is, the color was there, so somebody... honestly, it...
Well, because, I mean, we're just...
It could go hand in hand. Because my thing is, think about it this way, the way I envision it, right? Some guy or girl walking along, traveling along this road. It's about, we'll say 6 p.m., the sun is setting, right?
6 p.m.,
yep.
That's an early sunset. Okay.
Yep. Okay, fine. Well, fine. It's 7 p.m. They're walking along, and they find this fruit tree. And that fruit, they reach up, they grab, they go, what's this? And they hold it up to the sunset sky. And the colors are roughly the same, and they go... Light bulb goes off. Orange. They pocket it, and then they keep walking.
Oh, see, this is all I'm saying, though, is at what time did humanity decide that we need to put into words, this is the color, this is the name of the color?
Probably the Renaissance, if not earlier.
I was gonna say, if not, I feel like it would have to be earlier, but then again, I don't know.
But again, you got to think, like,
You go.
Well, I was gonna say, like, the issue is the history of the world kind of goes...
No, yeah.
Because like, the Dark Ages. Because that chunk is there, I would argue that color was discovered here... Forgotten in the Dark Ages, revived during the Renaissance.
Oh, I was gonna say, I think that makes sense because the Renaissance was so art heavy.
There is gonna be some history major or like someone that out here listens to this episode and goes, what the hell are they talking about? This doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm waiting for it.
We gotta bring Peyton back.
This is true. This is a Peyton-ass question if I've ever heard one.
No, I am serious about this though. Like, this is the thought that just, like... These are the kind of thoughts that just come in my head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, forget what came first, the chicken or the egg. Which, I mean, that's a whole other thing. What came first, the fruit or the color?
Yeah, that's a hard one. For the time being, I'm gonna end on color.
Okay. Interesting. I mean, I have no idea.
I'm gonna plant my flag in color.
You're gonna go hard. Oh, because then, to that point, is why did they decide... And, like, I'm saying that the color came first, right?
Yeah.
Why did they decide that an orange be called an orange, but then they look at an apple and not call that red? They call it apple. Yes. Why
is a banana called a banana and not a yellow?
But then, why is a plum called a plum?
And not like a purple.
And a peach is a peachy color.
Yep.
But a tangerine is orange, but it is different.
Yes. Right? No, this is important. These are valuable questions that need valuable answers.
I'm not gonna lie. This is actually gonna irritate me. Like, grapes, another one. They're purple, but no, they're called grapes. God.
Well, grapes are also green.
Yeah, that is true.
Here's the thing, though. I think we've reached the conclusion as to why. Think about how confusing it would be if you went to the store and you went, "Oh, I'm here to get some purples." And what does that mean? Does that mean plums or grapes? If you want to go oranges, does that mean you're getting oranges, tangerines, mandarins?
Clementines?
Clementines?
There's a lot of people that will just say, I'm going to get oranges, and will come back with one of those variants.
Right. Well,
I mean,
right.
there's
but
even been people
at the same
who
time,
accidentally grab grapefruits that are orange, like thinking
right.
oranges.
But then you want to say, I'm going to the store to get some reds. Okay, does that mean all the many different kinds of apples, or does that mean raspberries? Does that mean strawberries? Does that mean cherries?
I mean, then you're also going into the realm. It doesn't mean tomatoes.
Right.
Does it mean peppers? I mean,
exactly. So I feel like that's why. That's probably why. The naming conventions would get real out of hand real quick.
So then was orange one of those that was deduced first, or was deduced last because of the convention?
I think first.
Really?
Yes.
I feel like I would lean more towards end, because they look at it and they're like, what do we name this? We have to come up with a name. And then they simply just can't come up with a name, so they're like, damn it, it's orange.
See, but I go the reverse of that. If we're early on in the history, so forth. Oh, what do we call this? You know, they're not thinking banana or apple or grape. They're going, it looks like that. What do we call that? Oh, that's orange. Oh, they're going to call this an orange. They look the same.
You know, does that ever, like, it bug you in a way of whoever invented language just deduced that these are the things?
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Like, do you ever...
And we have no say in it.
Exactly! Like, who decided that a dog is a dog? Like, who's to
Correct.
say that in another universe, if there's another universe or nothing, that a dog's a cat and a cat's a dog?
Right.
You know?
Right.
Like
we have no say in our language. Which is wild. Which is wild.
And that's the fact. Like, that's the thing. And I mean,
Pardon
it doesn't
me?
matter... Well, you go.
Well, I was gonna say, that's why, you know what? I'm saying it right now. I want to be the next Shakespeare. He got to create his own words. Another part of our vocabulary. Why can't we just do it again?
Well, I mean, the thing is, I feel like people are creating words all the time. It's just whether or not they become, like, nationally known. But also, like, logistics of creating a word nowadays, I feel like, are so much harder.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you also, like, you...
Well, I was going to say, because you already have the pool of what's existed.
Yeah.
You got to think the pool of words back in all to say Shakespeare's time, let's go Elizabethan, was way smaller. That's why he was able to create so many words. But now we have, like, those words on top of those words, on top of the words that we've discovered in the 523 years since then. Like, it's the same thing with majority of stuff. The same thing with making an original idea nowadays, right? Like, something where we are in media, like, because where we are in media especially, it's hard to create a fully original idea. It is always drawing inspiration from something else or a genre that's already been done and done well. Like, there is no original corner of anything.
So
there are original products.
Dead?
Oh God. Oh gee. Oh God. I don't. Whoo! God,
have we pushed to the limits of creativity?
This is our third episode of That's the Flavor, bringing it back. We're already crashed it back into the ground. Episode number 27 is Originality Dead. Jesus. Oh, I mean, arguably this. No, I can't say this podcast isn't original because we have some pretty original ideas.
I mean,
but no, then
that's
but
it still stems off of something.
Oh,
like
right,
you said.
Oh yeah, no, like 100%. One of the inspirations for the show is like Rhett and Link, Good Mythical Morning, like
yeah,
and that's totally fair to say. Like another example is like Smosh, like Ian and Anthony, like drawing it off of them, like that energy, like.
But then if you're gonna go off of that, I mean, they had to draw it off of something. But I mean, like think of the initial like dynamic duo, like Johnny and Cash.
That's true.
Oh, not Johnny Cash. Johnny. Wow.
Johnny and Cash.
Wow, I'm tired. Tango and Cash. Bonnie and Clyde.
I just let you have that one, by the way. I'm
Blues
surprised.
Brothers. Like, I mean.
Right.
But then also before that, then I mean, like
Romeo and Mercutio.
I mean, there's so many. But I mean, is that a triad? Because what about Benvolio?
Oh, that's true. Yeah. You always forget about Benny Boy. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's there.
Oh yeah, no, he's definitely there. It's just it's pretty easy to forget about Benvolio, unfortunately.
I mean, also he's the only one that like lives at the end.
Well,
Sorry,
yeah, I mean, good for him.
But we just spoiled Romeo and Juliet for you. I don't. Feel
but
bad.
also, that's not. That's not what that's the flavor. That's not what Romeo and Juliet's known for. That's why he's forgettable. Because
that is true.
Like,
that is true, yeah.
Romeo and Juliet's known for the death, so he's the one guy that lives. Who cares? Nobody's reading Romeo and Juliet or watching
I actually
it
don't know
because
if a lot of
people
people
live.
would even... Are people even going to really realize Mercutio, too? Like, I feel like most people, if you say Romeo and Juliet, they're going to be like, oh, yeah, Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo and Juliet, yeah.
And I mean, I feel like if they are to remember side characters, it's probably like Mercutio and Tybalt, but I mean, that's about it.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that's part of the... I mean, that you could argue that for a lot of Shakespeare, too. Like Hamlet. Does anybody else know anybody besides Hamlet? If you were to really ask them, like...
That is true. I mean, also going off of that, then, is The Lion King really original, or is it just a Hamlet ripoff?
Oh, God. Oh, man. I knew we were gonna get to this at some point. Also, I want to be clear. We're creating a lot of great topics in this single episode. This is a banger of an episode so far. But I'm going to say yes. I think somebody at Disney went... No. I think it's not. I think it's not. I think somebody at Disney went... Okay. I think it's a port. I think somebody at Disney went, hey, you know Hamlet, guys? What if we did that but with animals? And they go, oh, what kind of animal? Like Lions.
Lions.
Like, obviously, yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, like, I mean, there's still a lot of, like... They're not exactly, because, I mean, if you go into that realm,
right.
To be purely... You're purely why am I forgetting the word that gets ingrained into yourself of like if you do it you get kicked out of school.
Expulsion.
No,
plagiarizing.
Plagiarizing. Thank you. Yeah, plagiarizing. But I mean, also, it does count. I think still, even if it is open domain. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but
yeah, I guess the issue. You could argue this topic all day. At a certain point, yes, everything stemmed from something that stemmed from something that stemmed from something that stemmed from something that stemmed from something. But at a certain point in that trees.
No, you go. You continue. You can finish your.
Well, I was going to say everything stemmed from something, right? And so then you get to the point where it's the going back and discovering the original point of creation. Like, does that become Shakespeare because like he wrote Hamlet? You know what I mean? Like, or was there someone before Shakespeare that he got the idea from? Like,
yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, like, because obviously, I mean, our world definitely goes off to whoever did the thing is the one that created it, but were they really the first one who created it? But then, this leads me to think of, like, if we're going to the original point of, like, originality to said topic, right? And then this is going to get, like, completely wild. And I mean, if you believe in like reincarnation and stuff like that, does that mean like a part of you for those projects was like part of the original? You know,
that's fair.
I mean, because then it's like it's never truly like it's still then authentic and it's still original to you.
Right. No doubt.
This is getting too meta for my brain.
This is getting I was gonna say let's pull it back out of the rabbit hole. Let's yank it back up and go. Hey, listen. If you got an idea for something that's really cool, don't listen to us. Don't worry about if it's original or not. Go make it. That's a flavor wouldn't exist if we said, oh, it's not original. Because at the end of the day, there may not be full originality in terms of this is a brand new spanking idea no one's ever done before, but there is originality in terms of the heart and the soul and the spirit you put into that work. So don't be afraid. Go out there. Go make what you want to make. Go make another podcast. Go make a TV show. Write to us about it one day. Be like, hey, because of you, that's the flavor. I did it. I went and I made a 10-book series with 9 movies and 4 comic books. And we'll be like, sweet, good for you. I'm happy. You know, go be you. This has been a message from PBS. Thank you all for shopping.
You know, you speaking opened up my head. And you know what?
Yeah?
Originality is not an idea. Okay. It's not a thought. It's who you are. It's a people. Originality is a people.
Asgard isn't a place. It's a people.
Originality isn't a word. It's a people. It's not an idea. It's a people. I'm original. Christian, you're original. Your mom's original.
No, as I was saying
baby that was just born.
As I was saying that whole spiel, I looked over and I saw like a million light bulbs go off in your head at once. The illumination of thought happened.
And that was my thought.
And I was like, oh my god.
Originality is people. People is originality. Those are the synonymous. That is synonymy.
Without people, we would be nothing.
Exactly. Exactly.
I want to point out that at this point we are... Go ahead.
I was going to say, but then this goes into a whole thing, because, I mean, were we the original person, or was there an original person above us? And that goes into the whole religion thing.
Oh, God.
That's
a
whole other
that's true.
But you go. I'm just going down the rabbit hole over here.
I just want to point out that we got to this point by talking about ice pops. We started with ice pops, and now we are here. The same way with the Muppet conversation, we started with the Muppets, and we got to, like, childhood censoring of media.
Which started with my love of Chris Evans.
Yes. Like, yeah, I was like, oh, let's title the episode Ozzy Loves Chris Evans, but now there's really good things. I can just title it episode 27, Originality is Dead. Like,
question mark?
Question mark, maybe? Man, that's the flavor. What a magical show this is. What a lovely little podcast.
I feel like that was really, really a roller coaster of everything.
Yeah, honestly, it's good that we only do this show weekly, because I feel like, we need some recovery time after that spiel. We got to come down.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't like. Yeah, I had a whole bunch of light bulbs go on, but like my existential dread is forever.
Well, I mean, yeah,
and that means all it's like. Have I always gone through this? Will I ever figure out? Like, is this is the real thing? This is why. Like,
there is an end. There is an end.
No, there's not an end.
Well, yeah.
There's
at least a couple pauses.
So. Yeah, there's definitely pauses, but I mean, I think that, like, I feel like your essence or whatever,
sure,
it lives on.
Right.
Because then, I mean, if you're gonna go into that, then I mean, like, do you think that me and you were always destined to be friends and best friends in some sort of way?
Yes.
Like, not like just.
I think even if you want to go multiversal, I think in every universe we're still best friends. I think our best friendship is that strong. Yeah, even in a universe where every person on the Earth is flowers, I think you and I are still planted right next to each other.
Well, see, this is curious, though. So now I'm going into canon events, okay?
God.
Would we...
Our own Across the Spider-Verse canon events.
Would we be best friends if you didn't move away?
No.
Because then...
I think I had to move away. We had to grow as people.
Yeah.
Now, I say that, though, but also at the same time, as soon as... it only took us a very few days of freshman year of high school to rekindle that flame. So, I don't really know if it does.
That is true. I mean, I feel like it was very much like, wait, we went to elementary school together,
and bam, it just snowballed.
And I was like, oh yeah, I married you.
Yep.
And you're like, yeah.
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 The rest is history, folks.
The rest is, in fact, history.
All it starts is with a phone book and a dream in 3rd grade.
Yes, our good old elementary school weddings where I married.
Now hug the bride.
Yep, not kiss, because I ain't kissing no girls in elementary school.
Not in 3rd grade.
Absolutely not. No. You know what I will do in 3rd grade that still feels like a trip to me is attend my teacher's wedding.
I didn't do that.
Yeah, that was a wild time.
No. I thought you were gonna say it was playing Call of Duty on our DSs whenever it was.
Oh yeah, no, that was
Or Pop Tropica.
Pop Tropica, dude. Club Penguin, like
on OG desktops, like you didn't have laptops.
Yes. Nowadays, kids just whip out their laptop in class and they watch some YouTube or whatever. No, we had to fight over the 3 to 6 desktop computers in the back of the class and fight for rights to Pop Tropica and Club Penguin. This is before like website blockers and stuff were employed, or before they were super strict and so forth. Like
it was either that or you played Beyblade
or
DS, or Bakugan,
Pokemon cards. People would trade. Yeah.
Those were much simpler times.
Much simpler times indeed. But you know what? If we were still in those simpler times, we wouldn't have That's the Flavor.
Yet.
Well, that's true. It would happen somehow, some way.
Yeah. This is the equivalent to Spider-Man. Like.
Right.
those are the canon. Like, this is the
That's
canon
true. That's
event.
true.
Like, we had to split, but this is inevitable.
Right. What do you think?
Even
Go ahead.
even in a universe where we're evil, that's the flavor is still a thing.
It's evil. It's evil.
Yeah.
That's the flavor.
Yeah.
In a universe where we're supervillains, there's still a podcast called That's the Flavor.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think another one of our canon events would be?
Another one?
Yeah, another canon event. Obviously, we still have a lot of life left to live, so like there's probably multiple canon events down the line.
I think that's definitely a big one. Like, I think you moving away, or if I move away in some weird universe.
Oh, I was gonna say, I think the other canon event would be post high school going into college. Because obviously you went off, like you weren't around. You know what I mean?
Curious. Yeah,
like,
it is like the mix. Like, you left me, and then I left you.
Right.
So then I wonder if it switches, like in some universes, like I left you and then you left me.
Whew. Oh, my heart.
Or what if there's
soul.
a universe where we left each other? Oh. But the thing is, what is the heart grows fonder away or something? Like,
and at the end of the day, we always come back to each other.
that is true. That is true. Yeah, we come back here together to bring you. That's the flavor.
It's true. It's true. And on that note, we're going to bring this episode of That's the Flavor to a close. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. Episode 27 was a blast. Honestly, I enjoy these roughly an hour long chats of hanging out with you guys, talking, making everybody laugh, and having a great old time. As I said at the beginning,
Existential dread.
Existential dread. As I said at the beginning of the episode, thank you guys so much for the support on this episode. We would not be here without you. We would not be doing cool things behind the scenes without you guys. We would not be recording this episode for you guys without all of you. Thank you for support. And yeah, also, do you have anything you want to say to our favorites before we get out of here?
Our taste buds.
Yeah. We're trying out names on what to call you guys. We're workshopping ideas.
There are taste buds.
There
are taste buds. Oh my god, did I just do it?
Oh my god, did we just do it?
Out.
Did we just become best friends?
It all started with Grimace because he was the original taste bud.
The
Rican. You know what, taste buds? I don't care if you don't like it. I'm calling you our taste buds.
No, I love that. We are calling them our taste buds. That is perfect. our taste dash buds.
Our taste buds.
Our taste buds. What a way to end an episode. We were in the middle of an outro and bam.
You know what? I'm happy.
That is a way to end an episode.
I'm happy.
All right. And on that note, taste buds, we're going to... Oh, it feels good, too. That rolls off the tongue really well.
It does. It really does.
It does.
It does. And you just picture the hyphen, so it just makes sense.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But on that note, taste buds, we're going to go ahead and get out of your ears or out of your car speakers. And yeah, this has been That's the Flavor, episode number 27. I'm Christian.
And I'm Ozzy.
And we will catch you all next week. Take care and goodbye.
Miss you.
Love you.